back to the channel. This is the Aspire Media Podcast. This is episode 1, The History of the Modern Generally. It's 2014. The second generation Dodge Charger LX has been out for 3 years, and it's the last year of the angry-looking front fascia before the 2015 facelift, best known from Hellcats. A dealership, Hall Dodge in Virginia Beach, has a partnership with Petty's Garage. Petty's Garage is a performance shop founded by Richard Petty, aka the King of Nascar, where they would build custom cars and complete restorations of classics. The idea was that Petty's Garage, through dealerships, would take a showroom car with a factory warranty and modify them with aftermarket performance parts, return them back to the dealership, and sell the brand new souped-up rare CLS cars. Of approximately 417,000 LX Dodge Chargers produced between 2011 and 2014, you could only get your hands on a header orange Charger in 2014, and only approximately 1,638 were produced, making it an extremely rare color. Sitting at the center of the showroom floor at Hall Dodge was one of these 1,600 header orange Chargers. Equipped with a 2.3-liter Magnuson supercharger, forged bottom end internals, a MagnaFlow catback exhaust system, front and rear strut tower braces, a Willwood big brake kit, fuel rail covers, custom PG headrests and floor mats, and an autographed tachometer by the King, Richard Petty, and other modifications. The Blacktop Edition Charger looked aggressive with the bright header orange paint and 22-inch Gianelli matte black wheels. Under the hood is a little plaque engraved with letters stating Petty's Garage 003. The 003 stood for the car's serialized number. Petty's intended to build 43 of the Chargers as a part of a promotion with supporting dealerships, but in the end they only completed 5. Let's take a second to run through the numbers. Of the 417,000 second-gen LX Chargers, only 1,600 were header orange. Out of the 1,600, only one was a Petty Charger, making it one of a kind. Of the 5 total Petty Chargers, none of the others were orange. They were normal colors like blue and black. Now that you understand how rare the car is, let's go to the story of how we came across it. On the way to Hall Dodge, my dad went to start paperwork on the 100th anniversary Octane Red Charger RT Max with molten lava interior, a car that he was trying to purchase for $24,000 brand new due to an internet clerical error. Fuck, that one was rough. It was like the sweetest deal ever. Before he ever made it to the dealership, the car was sold to another customer, leaving him without his new ride. That's when he saw the orange Petty Charger on the showroom floor. After looking over it in awe, he came back home and showed me a picture of it and asked, if I could finance this, what would you want to do with it? I replied with the only thought I had, turn it into a General Lee. My dad said that was exactly what I was thinking. The rest is history. The car was purchased and a week later was turned into a General Lee with the help of a graphic sign company owned by an acquaintance, giving the car the name, the modern General Lee. Almost immediately after the decals were put on the car, we began traveling to events up and down the East Coast. The car was an instant hit at shows, winning trophies for titles like Best in Show, Best Mopar, Top 15, and many others. The Hazzard Run was an annual event taking place in Tennessee from Nashville to Gatlinburg. Every year there was a gathering of cars from the late 70s and 80s show, the Dukes of Hazzard, in Nashville, where they would convoy all together to Gatlinburg, about a 200-mile trip. Leading the convoy and Main Street Gatlinburg parade was the modern General Lee. Having 2014 technology made it the obvious choice to lead the convoy, since the replica and TV cars didn't have any kind of GPS system, being around 40-ish years old at the time. While driving down the highway in the convoy, the cars received a ton of attention. Other drivers would honk their horns to say hello as they passed and take pictures and videos of the convoy while they were on their trip. Once arriving in Gatlinburg, the intersections were blocked off by local police, allowing the convoy to drive straight through the town to their destination, Cooter's Place in Gatlinburg. The streets were lined with crowds of families to see all of the cars from their favorite TV show as children, and to show their kids what the Dukes of Hazzard was all about. If you're watching this, you most likely already have an idea of what the Dukes of Hazzard is, or at least what the General Lee is. If you don't, I'll sum it up for you. It was an American comedy show lasting 7 seasons with a total of 147 episodes, where the main characters, Bo and Luke, couldn't stay out of trouble. Whether it be from the law or trying to get themselves out of sticky situations, The show was inspired by a movie from 1975 called The Moonrunners. Both the TV show, the Dukes of Hazzard movie, and the Moonrunners movie shared one concept: running moonshine. Moonshine is a high-proof liquor that was produced illegally, usually during the nighttime, to stay hidden from law enforcement. I believe that moonshine started during like the Prohibition era. They couldn't get alcohol, like they didn't have bars and stuff. Everything was illegal, like you couldn't drink. So they started making moonshine in like backwoods, so that people could still drink. It was super illegal, and it's a large part of why people began modifying cars. The moonshiners needed to have cars that they could escape from law enforcement in order to keep themselves from getting arrested for the illegal booze. The show itself had underpinnings of corrupt sole commissioner named Boss Hogg. He represented all executive and judicial powers over Hazzard County and used the local sheriff to execute many nefarious and criminal schemes. Basically, a corrupt politician and corrupt sheriff taking advantage of the local residents. They made the Duke seem more like Robin Hood, taking from the rich and giving to the poor. If you lived in Hazzard, you were owned by Boss Hogg from cradle to grave. To learn more about the beginning of modifying cars and moonshine, I highly recommend watching Donut Media's podcast, How Outlaws Invented Car Modifying and Became Racing Stars. It's Past Gas, episode 93. I watched it. I listen to them pretty often, like while I do road trips and stuff. Super awesome podcast. Hopefully these end up being more on that quality level. Bringing that concept back to the Dukes of Hazzard, Bo and Luke drove a modified 1969 Charger with orange paint, rally-style wheels, an 01 on the doors, a rebel flag on the roof, and the name General Lee painted on the roof above the glass on each side door. So if you don't get what I'm talking about, so you have your door, right? And right above the door's glass is that is the beginning of the roof. Right where the roof would go over the curve and start to become flat, that's where that name was. I don't really know how to describe it, and I just thought of it after I wrote the script, but we'll keep moving. They used the General Lee to transport moonshine and escape the comedic and criminal law enforcement for crimes, besides moonshine, that they did not commit. The show was a huge hit and changed the way people viewed classic Dodge Chargers. Instead of seeing them as the pony car they were, when you mentioned a Dodge Charger, an image instantly popped in many people's heads of the General Lee. The show had such a large effect that it's the original place that the name Daisy Dukes came from, talking about the booty jean shorts that Daisy Duke wore. Seeing the new Charger LX reborn led to many people trying to create versions of the new Charger as a General Lee, but none of them have pulled it off quite the way we have with the modern General Lee. The car is a driving piece of history, being one of the 5 petty Chargers, and also being a General Lee. It's no normal General Lee tribute car. Having signatures from Richard Petty himself, as well as cast members including Bo and Luke Duke, Daisy Duke, Cooter, Sheriff Little, Deputy Enos, and Deputy Cletus on the dash and door sill. These signatures were mainly received during the Hazzard run and play a big part in making the car even more special. The car also got signed by Dan Short, the main character from the reality TV show Phantom Works, Kevin Scheil, a cast member from the reality TV show Bitchin' Rides, Doc, Derek, and Monza from the reality TV show Street Outlaws, automotive YouTuber Adam LZ, the former SRT representative for Dodge, Ralph Giles, and Walter P. Chrysler's great-great-grandson, Frank Rhodes. The modern General Lee has been to events from New York to Tennessee, over time becoming more and more into the car it's known as today. The car was originally worked on by Petty's Garage, but eventually got work done by different shops. The car had problems. It had small issues that most shops didn't care about, but when you try daily driving a car that's built by a name like Petty's Garage, you expect the small kinks to be things that the shop would fix with pleasure, but shops made things very difficult to get everything with the car straightened out. We decided to give high horse performance a visit, picking up a new comp cam and some other goodies to get the power on the car up and give it a nasty load. The guys at HHP were awesome and gave us a full tour of their shop for a video I made a while back, and have been one of the most helpful and reliable shops we've worked with. The motor was pulled by a shop in Hampton, Virginia that I won't name for many reasons, but when we pulled the heads off, the pistons looked like they had been through World War III. The car was hurt, so we decided to do a complete, fully built motor. It received machine work from Apple's machine shop in Hampton, Virginia, and proceeded to finish getting assembled at the unnamed shop. The plan wasn't to make a ton more power. We just wanted a motor that was built correctly and was reliable. After all, the amount of traveling that we did to get to different events, over 90,000 miles, was a lot more than most people drive on performance-oriented cars. The parts list is long, including diamond pistons, manly rods, manly crank, Ty-Tech heads, and much more. It was tuned by Dave Katz at EFI Specialties and put down a decent amount of power. The path to getting the car to where it is today wasn't easy. Me and my dad were sharing a 98 Celica at one point. We would have to plan things out with each other on how to get places because at the time all we had was the General and the Celica. Eventually I got my Saab and my dad got a BMW, so things got easier, but the General was in and out of the shop for so long that when we finally did get it back, the feelings were amazing. I remember a little while back we went to the track and it was our first time breaking into the 11s in a quarter mile and I almost went into tears. Everything we went through to get the car to run that good finally felt like it had a purpose. We have a lot more planned for the General, and I'll work on getting more videos out on the process of making it faster than it's ever been. These podcasts are new to me, so if you have any recommendations on how I can make them better, please let me know and shoot me some ideas for future episodes. The Dukes of Hazzard could never be remade because of the insane amount of money it would take. The memories that the show made can only be remembered from watching DVDs of the classic show, like what I grew up on, and from the fans themselves making replica cars and keeping up with the original TV cars. That's exactly what the modern General Lee does. This was episode 1, the history of the modern General Lee. Before you go, make sure to subscribe to my channel and give me a follow on Instagram and TikTok at Mike Aspire Media, and that's going to be it. So I just want to do a special thanks really quick to my dad, a few friends for looking over the script for me. This was the first time I did a podcast in a really long time. I know way back in the day, me and Adam did one. Like we had been like 14, maybe 15 or 16 at the time. I don't even remember what we talked about or anything like that, but I want to keep this going. I know I have some ideas with Caitlin that we're going to try getting together and doing. But thanks for listening.